Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, we'll be discussing certain details about how to solve a problem related to depreciation under straight line method. Let's figure that out by an illustration that we'll be jotting down here further. So when we speak about depreciation, which is reduction in the value of asset, we understand that there are different methods, different techniques under which depreciation can be provided for any specific asset. The first thing that we'll be studying under sounding or probably figuring out how depreciation is supposed to be provided is under SLM method, that is straight line method. I'll be writing down a problem for you and then we'll go ahead and solve it together with the depreciation format and the journal entries itself. So we'll be preparing journal entries and we'll be also providing the depreciation on the asset with the asset accounts as well. Let's figure that out. We have mentioned down a problem for you. This is related to straight line method. Now, there are certain details given out here. You need to prepare a timeline first. As you see that there is a problem that is already mentioned here, let's highlight the important details of that problem, and after which we'll prepare a timeline for this specific problem, which will help us as to what all details are supposed to be mentioned in the depreciation problem and how about we go with solving this specific problem. So let's highlight after reading out the specific problem that we have mentioned down here. Mr. A purchased an asset worth rupees 16 lakh on 1st of April 2012. It is a printing machinery that he has purchased on 1st of April 2012. The worth of that specific machine is 16 lakh. This is the first information that has been mentioned here. Please note it down. The details here further mentioned are in chronological order. So on 1st of October 2012 again, he has purchased another asset worth rupees 20 lakhs. So there is asset which was purchased in the start of the financial year, April 2012. Again, in the mid of the financial year, we has purchased another asset worth rupees 20 lakhs. Let's go and figure out what do we have in the third information. On December 15th, he sold out the asset which was purchased for rupees 3 lakh and the selling price has been mentioned as 2 lakh rupees. So there is an asset that was purchased for rupees 3 lakh and it was sold out for rupees 2 lakhs. There is an additional information mentioned here that the asset was purchased in the year 2009. All the assets are marked at 10% straight line method. That means all the assets that we have or which we have purchased or which we already have are going through a depreciation of 10% per annum under straight line method. Now we have to show the value of assets that we have with us until the year 2013 March. That means for the financial year 2012-13, from April 2012 until March 2013, what is the value of the asset that we have and how much is the profit and loss that we have to calculate on the sale of the asset this was purchased in the year 2009. So we will prepare a timeline first and then we'll figure out how to solve this problem. Let's go ahead with the timeline. So as you can see that we have prepared a timeline here which states all the orders in the chronological part. That means every transaction that has been done since April 2012 until March 2013 has been mentioned in a chronological order. April 1st, October 1st, December 15th, and then the details about depreciation which has been mentioned down here. Now let's figure out how to solve this specific problem. We'll first prepare the working and then we'll pass on the entries and then the accounts or ledger balances of all these assets. Let's figure that out. As you can see, we have prepared the working note for the first two assets. That means the assets that were purchased in the year 2012. The first asset that was purchased has a cost price of 16 lakh. Now, this was purchased on 1st of April 2012, and since then until March 2013, we have been using it. That means the tenure that it has been used for is 1 year. So, as per the straight line method depreciation, we have to calculate 10% depreciation on 16 lakh itself, which is for 1 year. Hence, the total amount of depreciation is 1,60,000. So at the end of March 2013, when we have to prepare the balance of assets as on March 2013, out of 16 lakh, you have depreciated 1,60,000 as the amount or reduction in the value of the asset, which means the total of that specific asset, that means asset number 1, will be 14,40,000 as per the specifications for March 2013. That means for financial year 2012 and 13, asset 1 will have a balance of 14,40,000. That means the cost or the value of that asset dated March 2013 will be 14,40,000. Similarly, we have a working note for asset number 2, which was purchased on October 1st, 2012 again. Now, from October till March 2013, depreciation is provided on a yearly basis, which has been mentioned, or probably if it has been mentioned as quarterly or annual basis or semi-annually, you'll calculate depreciation accordingly. But if in the question it hasn't been mentioned, that means per annum, that means annual depreciation has to be calculated. Now for the second asset which has been purchased in the month of October 1st 2012, from October 1st 2012 until March 2013, the tenure that it has been used for, or the useful life, has been around 6 months. For this specific asset, the depreciation will be calculated only for these 6 months, because prior to October 1st, this asset was never purchased. Hence, from the date of purchase until the end of financial year, that is the tenure that you have to calculate. Now, 20 lakhs is the cost of asset. 10% depreciation on this multiplied by 6 divided by 12, that means 6 months usage. The total depreciation that comes in is rupees 1 lakh. So out of the total cost of the asset, which is 20 lakhs, at the end of March 2013, the value of this asset will be 20 lakhs minus 1 lakh, which is 19 lakhs. So both the assets total value at the end of year, that is March 2013, has been calculated. We'll further go ahead with the asset purchased in the year 2009. That means the third chronological transaction. Now we'll prepare a working for that. I hope you have noted down the specific working which has been done here, which will be easy for your reference whenever you have to pass the journal entries. You will be passing the journal entries in the chronological order itself, which will include profit and loss on the sale of assets as well. Now, let's prepare the third working note. Now, if you can see, for asset third, we have prepared a separate kind of working. This asset was purchased for rupees 3 lakhs in the year 2009. Hence, we have to do a working for last 3 years, 2009-10, 2010-11 and 2011-12. These are the financial years that we'll be considering. Now, it is a straight line method, 10% depreciation on the cost price. Hence, when we talk about depreciation, 30,000 is the depreciation for the first year. Second year depreciation will be also for 30,000, but the third year depreciation, that means for the year 2011-12, will have a depreciation only for 8.5 months. The reason being, this asset has been sold out on December 15th, so we'll be only recording the depreciation until this asset was with us. So from April 2012 until this specific the December, that means 15th of December 2012, for 8.5 months we'll be calculating the depreciation. So the total depreciation that we'll be calculating is for first year 2009-10, that means 30,000, which has been mentioned down here. For second year depreciation, that means April 2010 until March 2011, we have depreciation for second year, which will be again 30,000. For third year, again we have a constant depreciation of 30,000. Hence, when we talk about total depreciation, that will be third year depreciation again, which is 30,000. Now for fourth year, that means from April 2012 until December 2012, we have only 8.5 months. So for the whole year depreciation, that means 12 months depreciation, you have 30,000. So for 1 month depreciation, you will be having an amount of 2,500, which is 30,000 divided by 12. So for 1 month, if you have 2,500 as a standard depreciation, for 8 months you will be having a total of 21,250 as the depreciation amount. That is only restricted to the period of usage. Had it been that this specific asset was sold for 2012 or probably 2013 March, then in such case the whole year depreciation would have been calculated. Had it been that instead of December 15, this was sold at the end of December month, so for the whole 9 months depreciation it would have been calculated. But as this has been sold on 15th of December, we'll be calculating only for the period of usage. That means the total of depreciation for the fourth year is 21,250. So the total depreciation calculation will be as follows. So the total depreciation on this specific asset will be first year 30,000. That means from the year 2009 till March 2010 it will be 30,000. For the second year, that means from April 2010 until March 2011, it will be again 30,000. And again from April 2011 until March 2012, it will be again 30,000. So 3 years total depreciation 90,000 has been calculated. Now for the fourth year, where the tenure has been only for 8 months or 8.5 months rather, we'll calculate the depreciation, which has been 21,250. So 90,000 plus 21,250 gives you a total of 1,11,250. So this is the total depreciation for this specific asset. Now we have to calculate whether we have a profit on the sale of this asset or loss on the sale of this asset. Let's figure that out. So as you can see that we have completed the working of calculation of profit and loss. Now if you can see that the cost price of this specific asset, that means asset number 3, was rupees 3 lakh, which we have mentioned down here. Total depreciation has been 1,11,250. That means if you subtract this much of depreciation from the actual cost price of the asset, the total value as on the date of the sale would be 1,88,750. So if you sell out the asset on a price higher than this, that means there is a profit, because the actual value of that asset, that means the market value of that asset is 1,88,750. So if you sell this specific asset above this price, that means there is a profit. Or if you sell this asset at the price lower than this value, that means it is a loss. So in this situation, we have sold this asset for rupees 2 lakhs. So there is a clear sense of profit here, which is for 11,250. That means sale price has been greater than the balance of asset or the market value of that asset as on date of sale. Hence, we have a profit here. With this, we have completed the working of all the transactions or all the assets which we had for our question. We'll further go ahead with passing the journal entries. We'll go ahead in the chronological order itself. So if we can figure out, we have prepared the journal entries for this specific problem. The first entry refers to purchase of asset on 1st of April. The entry that has been passed is asset account debit to bank account. That means asset number 1 account debit to bank account. The total amount has been mentioned there, 16 lakhs. The second transaction or the second entry refers to again purchase of asset on 1st of October, which is asset account to bank account, which is 20 lakh rupees. That means asset number 2 account debit to bank account, which is again for 20 lakhs, as there is a purchase of asset. Now the third entry refers to providing the sale of asset transaction. That means there has been a sale of asset, hence we have mentioned this kind of entry. Bank account debit to asset account to profit and loss account. We'll mention there as asset 3 so that there will be no confusion. Now bank account has a total of 2 lakh rupees. That means that is the sale price of that asset. To asset account, which refers to the balance of asset which has been sold out, that is 1,88,750. To profit and loss account, 11,250, whereby we have mentioned there is a profit in this specific transaction. And the last transaction will refer to providing depreciation for the whole year for all the assets that we have. So the total of depreciation that we have for all the assets will be mentioned down here under this specific depreciation entry. So in this entry, we'll be mentioning depreciation as an expense. Hence, depreciation account will be debited to the specific respective assets. That means to asset 1 account debit, to asset 2 account debit, and to asset 3 account debit. The amount bifurcation has been given there. For asset 1, it will be 1,60,000. For asset 2, it will be 1 lakh, which is as per the working. And for asset 3, we'll have 21,250, which is the sold out asset. So the total depreciation that has been provided for that specific year will refer to the amount mentioned under the depreciation tab. That is 2,81,250. So the total depreciation that has been provided in the year 2012, that means April 2012 till March 2013, we have 2,81,250 as per the depreciation. So as you can see that this is a straight line method where we can figure out how to solve the depreciation problem under these kind of category, with some also included that where you specifically have, there is one specific problem which says that there is a sale of asset, also there is a purchase of asset as well. Hence when we talk about selling of asset, two criteria to be filled out. That means the depreciation from the date it has been purchased and what is the profit and loss on that specific transaction. So now with this sum you get to know what is the balance of asset that you have. One, asset number one, which will be having a total of 14,40,000, and the second one, which will be asset of second number two, or probably second number asset, which has a balance of 19 lakh after clearing out the depreciation. So the total asset balance will be 19 lakh plus 14,40,000, which gives you a total of 33,40,000. That means the total value of the asset that you have as on March 2013 is 33,40,000, and the third asset which has been sold out becomes obsolete, hence won't be recorded under the asset category. So this is how you solve the problem related to straight line method when you have different categories in it, which includes purchase of asset and which also includes sale of asset. So I hope this problem gives you much clarity on how to solve depreciation along with the timeline, working note and journal entries in this. So thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned with Ekeeda and keep subscribing to Ekeeda.